Look at her today. This has got to be something that every one of us needs to really love and enjoy, our freedom. It's beautiful. The day's beautiful. Hey everybody, this is Tony here at our cabin in the woods. Well, family's all left. They're all gone home. We're all getting better. We've been sick. Stomach bug, I don't know what it was. It just happened to hit us when the family's around. One of the other family members, daughter-in-law, she got it first, and then it hit me, and then it hit my mom, and it hit my wife the same day, but the day it hit my mom was when she was flying home. So anyway, we're over it. Well, kind of. We still feel a little woozy, but we got work to do here in the yard and stuff, and I had an appointment this morning, so I took care of that. So this afternoon, I got work to do. Anyway, we're going to all those pepper plants. They're going to get pulled out. Also, we're going to go way out there. I've got my compost piles, my two I put inside those cages. I'm going to loosen the cages up at the bottom. I'll show you what I do there. And I'm going to take the cages and take them off the top, flip them back over, reconnect them, and then take all the compost that's there now, flip it back in, wet it as I go. And also, look at her today. This has got to be something that every one of us needs to really love and enjoy, our freedom. It's beautiful. The day's beautiful. Anyway, to start, I'm going to do something real simple. I did notice the other day that one of my sprinkler heads, and I don't know how it broke, but it's broke. The bottom post is. I already got it dug up, kind of loosened up. It's down here. You can see it kind of bends, and it's just plain broke. Like I said, I've already got it loose. Sometimes they're a little stinker to get loose. So I got it loose. All I'm going to do is put a new one. I could have cut it, but I really thought there'd be water down in that pipe. I wasn't too sure, so I didn't want the dirt to flow back in there again. But see how it's broke right here? I had to have hit it, but I just don't know when. But we sure did. Anyway, all right, well, we're going to go and kind of, that won't come loose that way. So what we're going to have to do is take this loose here, like that. Now the other part of that extension I just had, yeah, I can use it still. There's nothing wrong with the top part, and actually what I ended up doing, because it did stick 2 feet higher, two sections higher, I clipped the other one, so it's already pre-clipped, it's ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and stick this in there now. And by the time I tighten this down, we should be close to where we need to be for... It was always too high. I just never fixed it. That was me, bad on me. Let's back that up, because that's where... Well, let's see if I can't take another... There's a sprinkler angle right there. I think we're going to be okay there. You can see this whole section right here is kind of low anyway. So, anyway... Well, that was simple. It was easy. I knew it would be, but I just figured I'd show you what I did. I lowered it to the ground 2 sections. And next year, that grass will be growing in there and be doing good. So, and then another thing I did is I went to my daughter's house, and she had a small tree. So we cut it down, and I brought it here. I got a burn pile. All right. Here's the burn pile I was just talking about. This whole area right here. What I think I've showed you before, the area where my meat birds were sitting, and where I have that other garden that was inside there, this whole area back here was complete just like this last year. I started out with one day we're getting snow and rain, so I just got a huge tarp and threw it off onto the front side, and I let the first day go ahead, and we got some rain, and then during the rainstorm I went and dumped a bunch of fuel on it, and that just did a controlled burn. I kept pushing over with the tractor. Well, over here I was pushing over this way on the tractor, in which this one I'll probably take that out of the way for now, and I'll start the burn right here, and then I'll just back the tractor up into the woods, and I'll just start pushing the stuff on top. And it snowed last year one day. That burns. And it rained. I probably got rid of about 80% of it, but it was under control. One thing you gotta watch out for when you get a hot burn, that fire's underground, and you gotta be careful. And that's something I know, so I don't want it to burn here and then burn in, because it will burn underground and then you can't control it back there. So what your goal is to keep the fire out in this area over here, in that area, and just keep feeding it on top. And that way the fire stays here, less chance of going underground in the root system, everything else that's over there, and then you can clear that whole area out. And that whole area is going to be my extension of my garden. Anyway, back to this. Here's I just threw those in there a couple days ago, just before we had we had a light frost the other day. I was telling you, the first time I set these up, I showed you the video, they were probably, I believe, up to this point right here. The first time. They went down, and then I've cut the grass 2 more times. You can see there's 2 layers. And in between each layer, I've got vegetables and everything else, which brought it back about between here and here. These 2 spots right here. Since then, you can see how far down it's gone right now. They're ready to be flipped. You can see how dark it is down there. That's all cooking. I've pulled it back and looked in there, and you can see it just smoking, and it's just beautiful. What I've done was, this was fencing, 1 big roll. I left one end with the long, I clipped it, and I made a real long end. I'm trying to do this. There we go. And I looped it around to hook the fence together. What I did to remove the fence, on the bottom, I just undid the fence, the bottom half, to make it easy to pull up. And then I'll flip this over, reconnect it. The other one's already undone. And then once I flip these cages over, I'll reconnect them. And then we'll start scooping the compost back in each one of these containers again, but upside down. And as we go, we wet them. All right, here we go. I'll just flip these over, and this end here where it connects, and all I'm going to do now again is just reconnect them. Just reflip it back over again, each one of them, so that way the next time around I can just undo it again and it'll be ready to go. Alright, I'm going to probably set that one right here. This other one, what I'm going to do back here in the back, and I'm going to, once these are over here, moved here, I'm going to go ahead and dig this out some, and I'm going to do a pallet compost. And once this is broke all down, I'll throw that pallet compost in this area, and I'll just keep composting out in this spot right here. So I keep my compost always in the same area. Look at that. You can already see. Look how dark this is. That's broken down. Look at that. That's awesome stuff. All right, let's get pushing into some of this compost here. You can tell, look at this. There's no dirt in here at all. This is pure breaking down compost. You can see look at that. That there's some of the goat poop. There's no dirt in that. That's all, it smells great. All compost. Like I said, that's restacked twice and it's broken down that far. I'm gonna add a little water in here. Well, we got the 2 compost piles flipped, and we moved them, relocated them. This one was where that one sat. I just moved the cage over here, flipped it over, put all the stuff here. The other cage was back in that area, and I just flipped it over, put it right there, and shoveled it back in. Now, I did notice something. This pile did really good. Really good. That pile on the bottom, say the last foot, everything you can see on top looks green. It was dry. Water hadn't gotten down to it. And I watered it the same as I did that. So we'll have to see what I'm doing different. I don't know. But you see how well that broke down. I had some other leaves and stuff in there I put on top just now. Again, but it looks good inside. There was worms inside this one going on. Nice growth in there. This had a little bit of worm too toward the top. But at the very bottom, and this stuff right here was the bottom, is what you see, exactly the way it's at. So I didn't get it wet enough to begin with, or that's got to be it. I mean, I don't know. I had to have a brain fart or something. I thought I did it all the same, and it should have stayed wet because I was out here every few days wetting it down again. But you can see still, I mean, it did break down pretty good. You can see the darkness in them. They're looking good. You know, I just kind of raked up this a little bit and threw it in there. There's a little dirt that could be on top right now, but most of that is all compost. So what I'll end up doing there is shoveling that out back there, pallets in there, and everything comes out of here. It will go into that spot, and I'll start a new one. I've got all that garden waste that I've got to go take care of. All the pepper plants, all the cucumbers, all that vinery stuff I'm not putting in here. I've got another compost pile that I flipped with the tractor. It's all the way out back, and I'll take all that out, put it in the tractor, and bring it down there. That there probably take like a year to break down, I'm assuming. I started about 6 months ago, and the underneath looks good. I already flipped it around a couple times, and I wet it. I don't wet that as much, but it's doing better back down there.